Hello guys, welcome in this new video to explain how to accomplish this, so rotating object in MX Bikes. So it's true that you can achieve pretty cool things using rotating objects. It's not very complicated, but to find how to do it, unfortunately, there's nothing in the documentation. You have to browse the forum with the correct keyword and you'll find a little answer from people so somewhere here. So let me just sum it up in a video. It will be way easier. For this tutorial, I prepared a small scene with only this object from Jayo Panda's asset. Thank you, Jayo, for this. And this monkey head. So, just first, something you need to understand is again, this word game is having the axis not correct, or at least I don't really understand, but Z is not up, it's Y up. So when you check here in Blender, you have the Z up, and this is just normal to me. You always have the Z up, but in MX Bikes, it's Y up. So Y and Z are inverted, and you have your X axis like this. So if you look at your object from the I mean from the Y axis, you will see Y uh, up and X left right. Okay, why this is important? Because you will have to set an axis for your rotation, and because it looks pretty logic to set Z as your rotation axis, your object will not rotate the correct way. I mean, if I turn on rotation like this, and it will just rotate like that instead of rotating like that. Okay, so any object you want to make rotating needs to be exported separately. So imagine you have your wall track with bales and everything, all object, you will just you can add a filter there, or it's hidden with my overlay. Just a second. Here you select that. Okay, so you make sure that any rotating object is not selectable. You press A as usually. You export this as an FBX. You convert FBX to ADX, FBX to EDF, just as usually. Then you take one object, one rotating object at a time, and select export FBX and convert it from FBX to EDF as well. Then what you need is to put your EDF, so each rotating object as a single EDF in your final project folder. So you have your work in progress folder and the final track folder. So your object needs to be there. Then you create a file that is the name of your track with SCR like screen. You edit it with your favorite text editor, and we'll add this. I will just add this in the description. And you, if you have many or multiple, sorry, objects, you can add obj 0, obj 1, and change the name of the object every time, and so on. So I got my only rotating object called rotating head.edf. I got my uh, rotation axis, and basically this is X, Y, Z. That's why I wanted to explain for this XYZ, because you should in any, I mean, logic game put it like this if you want the z-axis rotation. But here it's y up, so you need to put the one here. So one will be your axis, uh, I mean, unless you want your object to rotate this way. Then the rotation time is how much time will it take to your object to make a complete, yeah, just a complete tour. So let's put 5 seconds here. It's in milliseconds. The position. So here again, as usually when you export an object, the center is 0. So the object will already show here in game and uh, not here, not at the origin. So I don't need to put an extra effort here to check for the object coordinates here. If um, I apply the transformation, the location transformation, and now it's 0, it won't be correct. I'll have to um, set a position of almost 6 meters up, so Y and not Z. So basically in position it's X, Y, so here I'll have to change here for 5.9, something like that. But here, because the origin is not changed, everything is good with 0, 0, 0. Now rotation. This is a bit complicated because when you export your object here, so if I do file, export, px, up, it says y up. Um, how can I explain? In game, and I don't know why it's not doing that for all the object, but okay, let me just showcase it so you understand. I will put 0, 0 everywhere. So like I take my object as is, set only a rotation axis, and let's see what it produces. So here if I open again. So what's great is every time you edit this dot screen file, you don't need to rebuild or anything. It's read um, as soon as you load the map in map view. So yeah, here what's happening. As you can see, the face of the monkey is just looking down. It has been rotated, and it has been rotated how? Like this. So on the x axis, just because y is up. Not sure if it's clear, but what does it mean? It means that just to fix, to correct the game behavior, you need to rotate from 90 degrees this object. In the past, I used to do it another way. I used to rotate my objects in my Blender scene by 90 degrees, so you don't have to change it here, but depending on, I don't know, your object itself, it can be more complicated to place it over your scenery. So I would recommend instead to keep your scenery clean, your Blender file, and when you create your entire layout, it's more easy to place your object, and you just remember to add a 90 degrees rotation here. So that's pretty much it. I save with the 90 degrees rotation here. I load again my map, and the monkey head is rotating. So as I said, no need to rebuild anything. So I don't know, here it's 5 seconds. If I want it to rotate very fast, at 1 second, just reload the map. And now you'll see this freaky monkey. Yeah. So that's it. Pretty quick tutorial. But yeah, I really wanted to explain this axis issue because the first time I tried to have an object rotating it was very complicated. And just think about something here. I'm just on top of the origin. So if I forget about this rotation, it's not a big deal because I will still see it just near um, the origin. But when you have a big scene and your object is, for example, somewhere, let's just select the head. Okay, I don't know, it's somewhere here. Okay, G, it's somewhere here, and if you mess the rotation, it will rotate maybe like uh, like this. And if your speed is set to something very long, you'll just load your map and say, oh, you said shit, it's not working, my object is not even here. But if you unzoom in map, you can see your object very far away moving like this. So it's hard to debug when you have multiple objects far in your scene because as you can see, that's a good example. There is kind of limitation for the distance, so maybe you won't see it. I recommend if you can see your object to make it more fast, you decrease this number here, so you just see something flying somewhere, and then you understand that you messed something up. That's pretty much it. Sorry for the voice, and yeah, I'm sick. Shit. Enjoy and please add funny rotating objects on your tracks. It's pretty amazing. Thank you guys. Bye.